Hey YouTube and Caymanas Park Turf Fights. Welcome back to Down the Stretch. I'm the host, Christopher Charlton. We have a 9-race card for Saturday, March 22nd, 2025. The day it's going to be the Omar Walker Day. Race is named after horses that Omar Walker has ridden on. The feature race is going to be the Omar Walker Trophy. Okay, let's get right into it. The first race, native bred 3-year-old maiden, fillies, 10 starters, they go 6 furlong. It's named after Supernatural, Omar Walker's first win. I'm boiling this race down to 4. They are the 3 Star Aura, the 4 Woman in Love, the 7 Althea, and the 9 Cost of Living. Okay, Star Aura. Robert Hallidine for Jason DaCosta. 95 favorite on debut the 22nd of February. After the start was squeezed out and was left with a lot of running to do. Did make good gains in the stretch to finish only 4 1/4 lengths third behind the smart-looking Hansa. Linguist was second that day. Linguist came back to win very impressively, so that's saying a lot for the chances here of this Star Aura, working very well coming into the race. Last work coming to this was with Cost of Living, 5.5 furlongs in 1:08 and 3, and after that, I think they have now put the blinkers on, so it looks like the horse they're going to have to beat. The 4, Woman in Love, Dick Cardenas for Peter John Passad, was also making her debut in that same race. Flash speed, she led all the way into the stretch before tiring when ridden by Shane Ellis. Finished 4th by 8.5 lengths, so she wasn't disgraced. Now gets Lasix for the first time. Busy at exercise still. I think this Woman in Love is a much more dangerous horse this time around. And one thing about Cardenas, he knows how to ride a front runner. The 7, Althea, the most experienced runner in the race. This Althea came down in utero. Philip Parchment riding here for Gordon Lewis. Has run some useful races without actually looking like she was going to win. She now has the tongue tie on. She is busy at the exercise track and is definitely an outsider to watch in this event. And the 9, Cost of Living, Tevin Foster for Greg Fennell. Second and last by 7.5 lengths to Prince Roy, who was recently a very unlucky loser in the Sir Howard Stakes when being squeezed for space in the stretch and finishing second to Honor Prince. So after the basis of that performance by Prince Roy, Cost of Living, I think, going to have an excellent shot in this race. On horse to note, squeezing the superfecta is the 10, Perfect Affair. Ryan Lewis for Anthony Nunes was third by 13 lengths on debut to Prince Roy and Cost of Living. Much better for that run. Active at exercise. I think, yeah, that would be the horse I would squeeze into the superfecta. The second race, native bred 4-year-olds and up, non-reserve 3, and imported 4-year-olds and up, non-reserve 2. 6 starters, they go 8 furlongs. This is named after Podipu, his first Guineas winner. Okay, I'm boiling this race down to 4. They are the 3, Lucy in the Sky, the 4, Train of Thought, the 5, Titan Tempo, and the 6, Oil Machine. Okay, Lucy in the Sky. Gavin Harris, claiming 4 kilos for Jason DaCosta. 6 by 9 3/4 lengths and last, going 7 furlongs to Immeasurable Joy and Titan Tempo. The race before that, I'm going to throw that race out. That was a no-show. But before that, on the 8th of February, going this distance, she was an easy winner by 3 1/4 lengths over the General and Pineapple when stalking the leaders and then running through to win easily. This is her 3rd attempt at this level, but coming in here so light, do not underestimate the chance of Lucy in the Sky. I think she's going to get the kind of pace that she likes, where she can just sit behind and start the leaders. 1 to Fear. The 4, Train of Thought. Unpredictable American filly, Dane Dawkins for Stephen Todd. 10 by 7 lengths on last to Smart Trick and A Breath of Fresh Air at 5.5 furlongs. I think that was a little too short for this Train of Thought. Last time was the winner on the 21st of December, going 7.5 furlongs when winning by 4 1/4 lengths over Titan Tempo and Midnight Galaxy. So if a Train of Thought runs that kind of race on this day, we might see Trinidad putting in a capital run and fighting it out. The 5, the horse they are going to have to beat, Titan Tempo. Imported colt, Robert Halladine for Philip Fiani. Has 3 consecutive seconds in his last 3 starts. Was second by half a length to Brenda Boy at a mile. Came back at 7.5 furlongs. Was beaten 7 3/4 lengths by the imported Main Mistress. And then last time out, the 1st of March, was caught near the finish by a half a length by Immeasurable Joy in a smart 126 and 4 for 7 furlongs. If he's allowed to get to that lead and get to relax, it's going to be a very, very difficult horse to get back to. Definitely the horse they're going to all have to beat. And the 6, Oil Machine. Last time out, 7.5 furlongs, was 4th by 12 lengths in the same race with Main Mistress. Before that, at a mile, was an easy 6 lengths winner, beating Lucy in the Sky, who is present today. Coming off basically a month break, so freshened up for this. Has only really 1 gallop coming into this race, was back in February 8th, 38 and 2. So just cantering for the month of March. So coming in here pretty fresh. Radish Roman gets back the ride. He won with him on the last time they won. For Philip Elliott, this Oil Machine should be improving now. He's a 4-year-old colt and expected to be in contention throughout. The 3rd race, native bred 4-year-olds and up maiden, 7 starters, they go 5 furlongs straight. This is named after Mark My Word, his first Super Stakes winner. Okay, this is a race I would prefer to just skip and avoid, but gotta do what you gotta do. I'm boiling this race down to 4. They are the 4, Ruby's Light, the 5, Noble Monarch, the 6, Bomb Knight, and the 7, Roman Princess. Okay, Ruby's Light. Ratamar Weir claiming 4 kilos for Gary Griffiths. 5th by 13 lengths and last to Monster Vigorous going 7 furlongs. But the last 2 times this horse has been over the straight. The last time over the 5 straight was on the 1st of February, finishing 3rd by 5 3/4 lengths to Miss Copenhagen. I think that's the name of the horse, with Gelroy was second in that race. And it was closing off the pace. Before that, on the 4th of January, over the 4 furlong straight, was 3rd by 6.5 lengths to Rapida and Big Pop. So, very experienced horse in this race. I think she's going to prefer sprinting, especially over the straight. So, coming in claiming 4 kilos. They have now taken the tongue tie off. And she runs, in my opinion, better without the tongue tie. I think this Ruby's Light has a maximum shot of finally getting the job done. The 5, Noble Monarch, made his debut on the 5th of March. Was very prominent all the way to the furlong pole before completely tying up, finishing 6 by 9 1/4 lengths to Hail the Queen. It says Lasix for the first time, and the tongue tie is now on. So possibly bled in that race because he stopped abruptly in the race. So possibility is that Noble Monarch might have bled there. Jaru Stewart claiming 4 kilos for Donovan Clark. Worked coming into this 4 furlong straight, 49 and 3 by 104 and 4 with Lord Espo. So like how the Lasix are now administered, this well-bred son of Shackleville, Storm Away by Stormcraft, expecting a much better run from this Noble Monarch. The 6, Bomb Knight, Richie Shakes, clearing 4 kilos for Captain Marlon Brown. After a promising debut back in November when finishing 4th by 2 3/4 lengths to Little Maggie, has not done much since. 6 by 9 lengths to Chinita Estrella, then came back, was 7 by 12 lengths to Blood Moon. Last time out on the 21st of December was beaten 25 lengths 11th by Mila K. Was supposed to run on 26th of December but was scratched lame. Has been active at exercise since then, so a well-deserved rest, and she's back at the track working, so I don't think she's lame now. They have now taken off the visors, and this is another well-bred filly. She's Soul Warrior out of Mom's Rule by Crucial Trial. Expecting Bomb Knight to finally show a good run. And the 7, Roman Princess, just beaten on the line on last when on the 15th of December when caught by Princess Catalea. Had Ruby's Light 7 3/4 lengths behind in that race at 5 furlongs round. Roman Princess made most of the running there, or just caught shades of the wire. Abigail Abel claims 3 kilos here for Saclarian Roman, and although coming off a break, not seen at exercise, is probably swimming. Going to give this Roman Princess a good shot to fight this out. The fourth race, native bred 5-year-olds and up, numbers of 3, and imported 5-year-olds and up, numbers of 2. 8 starters, they go 5 furlongs straight. This is named after talented Tony K, Walker's first 2,000 guineas winner. I'm boiling this down to 4. They are the 3, Grey Commander, the 5, Lambo Girl, the 6, Princess Aquila, and the 7, Jack Daniel. Okay, Grey Commander. Robert Halladine for Norman Smith. Put in a good run on last, coming off a long rest from September to run on the 8th of March to finish 4th by 7 3/4 lengths to Golden Syrup at 6.5 furlongs. Much better for that run. Has been busy at the exercise, cantering since that race. Over the straight 5 now. Last time over the straight was 8th by 7 lengths to Lady Abimala, and was very prominent up until the furlong pole. Has a good run over the straight back in May when it was second by a length to Ella Fortunada. Had Brit Bryan Express behind in that race. So expecting a good run here from this Grey Commander. The 5, Lambo Girl. Shaheem Gordon claiming 4 kilos for the very infirm Adrian Prince. Hasn't shown nothing since coming to this level, this Lambo Girl. But when she is fit, she is fast. And we remember that back in the 23rd of November over the 4 furlong straight. And when Trevor Simpson put her in front, she made all the run to beat Read My Lips and Moneybox at 12-1. So she has 4 runs in this class now. She came off a rest since January and ran March. Needed that run. And I'm expecting a much better run from this Lambo Girl. I kind of like that. She's freshened and she's coming extremely light. So that's my long shot in the race to watch, Lambo Girl. The 6, Princess Aquila. I picked this horse in the last 3 starts, I think. This Princess Aquila. 5 furlongs straight. Last time over the straight, she was 7 by 8.5 lengths to Equinox and Manouche. Before that, she was beaten 9 by 20 lengths to Bulletproof Coffee, so she had no chance there. On the 23rd of November, over the straight 5, it was 3rd by 3 3/4 lengths to Digital Light. And I can't see it on this form, but I remember she ran second to, what's the name of that horse again? Acknowledge Me. When she was 99-1, she was second, and she had Golden Syrup behind her in that race. And Golden Syrup beat her on last time out. Tevin Foster, no, back in the saddle for Anthony Nunes. Over the straight course, busy at the exercise track. She has a work the 15th of February out the gate, 102-4 by 48-2 with undisclosed location, who's far superior to this class. Princess Aquila, I think, has an exceptional shot of pulling this off. And the 7, Jack Daniel, Radish Woman for Gary Crawford, ran well coming to this level for the first time, beaten 5th by 8 3/4 lengths in that Golden Syrup race, but was prominent turning for home, 3rd by 2 lengths, and then was 4th by 4.5 at the furlong pole. Coming back over the distance that he likes the best, 5 furlongs straight, which he won on last in 102-1, beating Blitz Strike and Electrode. So I think this Jack Daniel has a shot at fighting it out. Those are the 4 I'm working with. The 5th race, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 1 million to 800,000. 8 starters, 5.5 furlongs. This is named after Seeking My Dream, Mar Walker's first Derby winner. I'm boiling this race down to 4. They are the 2, KP Choice, the 4, Emperor the Cat, the 5, Generational, and the 7, Whiskey. Okay, KP Choice. Siobhan Townsend, claiming 2 kilos for Greg Fennell. 4th by 9 lengths on last over the 5 furlong straight to a out of class looking Milos. Before that, and that was at 1.5 million claimer. So stepping down in class, this KP Choice, taking a step back down in class. Before that, on the 9th of February, for 1.2 million, was third by 4 3/4 lengths to Taurus Boy. So coming back down here, getting 5.5, is capable of going around the bend. Back in September 28th, 5 furlongs round, which is one of the hardest round course races to run, because you have to come out of those gates and you have a furlong to get to the turn, so you have to be going real fast into the turn. And was second by 6 3/4 lengths to Rejected Raja, having power ranking behind him. Busy at exercise, so he's sound, very fit right now, and claiming off those 2 kilos off of top weight of 126. KP Choice has an excellent chance of pulling this off. The 4, Emperor the Cat. Demar Williams claiming 4 kilos for Carl Anderson. Not the horse of yesteryears, this Emperor the Cat. Former top class runner, definitely has his issues. Was thrown in for 550 and won, beating Brit Bryan Express and Eagle One over the straight course. Wasn't claimed, came back at the same 550, was beaten by a length by Eagle One, still wasn't claimed. Came 700,000, which basically is still 550. They just added more money to the purse for this year. Was fourth by 4 3/4 lengths, going 5 furlongs round after having a horrible start and was checked badly and was way behind the field. Came home flying, turning for home very wide, and was running on strong in the stretch. After that performance, a sound Emperor the Cat, I would definitely have to get a shot here. Hasn't been seen at exercise, so must be swimming. So just off his back class, I'm just going to give him a slight C in this race to make it interesting. The 5, the horse they're going all have to beat, Generational, Radish Roman for the very informed Adrian Prince. Looking for a hat-trick of wins. Last time out on the 1st of March at 700,000 claimer. Romped by 11 lengths, beating Brinks and Stormer Come. Before that, at a million claimer, 15th of February, going 5.5 furlongs. Won by 2 lengths to Burning Valor and Great Wayne. Fit as hands can make him right now. He is at the track exercising, so he is sound and fit. And even with 125 pounds in his back, looks like the horse they're going to have to try to beat. And the horse that I personally like in the race, the 7, Whiskey. Richard Henry claiming 3 kilos here for Seymour Biggs. Last time out, the 1st of February in a million claimer at 7 furlongs, was 6 by 8 1/4 lengths to Green Gold Rush and Sir John. Was stretched out of his league there. 7 furlongs is just a little bit out of the reach of this Whiskey. If you check back before that, on the 11th of January at 800,000, was third by 3 lengths to Power Ranking and Burning Valor. Last win was August of last year in a 5-year non-reserve 4 when beating Salud and the Premier Identity. So he had a break from November, raced in January, then came back February, rested off again. It's almost what? That's a 4-5 week break. Had a gallop coming into this race. 3 furlongs, 39.2 breezing, claiming 3 kilos off of 120. Is a horse that I think I'll take a shot at, this Whiskey. So those are the 4 I'm boiling it down to. The 6th race, 4-year-olds and up, optional claiming 350 down to 250, and 6-year-olds and up now reserve 3. Big field of 14, they go 5 furlongs round. And this one is named after Without Exception. I remember that horse. That was Shiza Manita's full brother. That was Omar Walker's 1,000 winner. Okay. To be honest, this race, I really can't find the winner for this race. I picked 7 horses in this race. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I picked 7 horses. And it's one of those races. They place it at the 6th race. So if you boss here, you're bossing both pick 6. And it might be a race that you say, I have to use a lot of horses. And then it turn out to be a race where the first horse you look on probably be the right horse. Like if somebody asks me, say, just pick one horse. You only have one horse to pick. I'm probably going to say Buzz Assault. So it's a tricky race. It looks like a race that you're going to have to use a lot of horse in, but it can turn up that is the most obvious horse win it. But as I said, I come down with 7 horses and I don't know exactly who to pick as a winner. So I'm just going to talk about these 7 horses and you guys choose who you like. Okay? So I picked 7 horses. They are the 1, Buzz Assault, the 3, Nothing But Trouble, the 4, Cappuccino, the 5, Air of Fire, the 7, Empress Nakela, the 8, Absolute Blue, and the 14, JJ, the Striker. Okay. Buzz Assault. Rejuvenated 8-year-old gelding. Tyrese Anderson claiming 4 kilos for Arville Johnson. Comes in 126 pounds, so he gets a little release in the weight there with that 4 kilo claim. Win on the last 2 starts. Usually hits brick wall in his races, but he has been holding his gallop, although shortening near the finish. 5 furlongs round might look ideal for him, but as I said before, a 5 furlong round is a very tricky race. You know, a lot of horses come out of the 5 furlong round lame because you have to hit that first turn really fast. So I'm expecting him from the 1 draw to be on the lead or right with the leaders, and depending on how they come off of that turn, definitely Buzz Assault, I think, should fight it out. The 3, Nothing But Trouble. I tipped this horse last time as a long shot, led all the way up to the top of the lane before fading, but 7 furlongs was way out of his depth. O'Shea Nugent riding here for Joseph Thomas. Before that was 5 at 5.5 furlongs, was 4th by 7 lengths in that same Buzz Assault race. Did hook up with Buzz Assault before they turned for home. Better for those recent runs, and expecting another good showing here from this Nothing But Trouble. The 4, Cappuccino. Potentially a better horse than these, but definitely has her problems. Dane Dawkins riding for Lawrence Freemantle. Lawrence Freemantle, very dangerous trainer, knows how to get these lame horses running. And Cappuccino, who I think, class-wise, I think would be the best horse in this race, but he definitely has his problems. Last time going 5 round was February 8th when he was beaten half a length by Unruly Dude. If he runs like that in this race, he should win. So you can't leave him out. The 5, Air of Fire, finally won a race. Took her probably 3 years to be inside in the winner's enclosure. She won at this level, 350 at 5 furlongs straight. Coming around the bend, I don't think she have a problem going around the bend. Back in December on the 26th, going 6 furlongs, she led for most of the way before fading into 4th by 5 lengths to Unruly Boss. So I don't think she has a problem going around the bend. Philip Parchment now gets to ride the very bustling Philip Parchment, and expecting Air of Fire to put in another good run. Who's the next horse I have here now? The 7, Empress Nakela. Got to throw some long shots in it, you know. Empress Nakela, Emilio McLean, 4 kilos for Robert French. Dismantling her last 3 starts at non-reserve 3, non-reserve 3, and then 500,000. So she's taking a step down in class. The last time at this level, which was back in October at 250, which is now 350,000, she was a winner by 4 3/4 lengths over Buzz Assault. That was at 6.5 furlongs she was running on. 5 furlongs round. Is it too sharp for her? Maybe, but she went 5.5 back in September and was second by 6 lengths to Principal Tiffany. And she had given me the light behind her there. Give Me the Light has come back to win, I think, 2 races. Maybe 1. But I know Give Me the Light has come back to win. She's working, so I think she's very sound right now. And if a speed duel happens, I think this Empress Nakela has a good shot of being a long shot, especially claiming 4 kilos coming to this race. The 8, Absolute Blue, Tevin Foster for Omar Williams, was very consistent up May up to September of last year. Was second by a length and a half to Undecided over the straight. Came back at 5.5, won by 10 lengths over Sir Ganga Jamuna. Sir Ganga Jamuna has come back and won and run second recently. Then came at a 5 furlong round race and won by a head from Conundrum and Noble Impulse. That's a good run there. Then after that was at 5.5, won again by a length and a half, beating Noble Impulse. So that was 3 consecutive wins before she ran up into Phenomenal One and the Traditional Boy at 5 furlongs round. Came back in January, lackluster performance against Buzz Assault. Much better than her recent runs are showing. She has freshened up for this. She has worked coming into this race, 3 furlongs in 38 and 2. And wouldn't surprise me if Absolute Blue turns up and runs a big one. And finally, the 14, JJ the striker, Richard Henry claiming 3 kilos for Omar Williams, 6 on last by 11 lengths to Rusty over the straight course. So he's taking a step down in class. Before that, over the straight 5, he was 4th by 6 1/4 lengths to Phoenix Risen. Rusty or Phoenix Risen run here, they win. Any one of those horses run here, they win. So I have to give JJ the striker as looking here, especially he's claiming 3 kilos off of that 126 pounds. He's drawn horribly though, that's the only thing. He's drawn way to the outside, and it's a short run to that first turn. He does have some pace, but he's not the fastest horse in the race. He's going to have maybe 3 horses a bit faster than him here. So that's the only downside to this JJ the striker. He's drawn wide, and getting to that first turn, that is going to cost him some lengths. But I'm still giving him a shot in here. So those are the 7 horses. I think the winner comes from one of these, hopefully. As I said, this is a very complex race. And if I had the opportunity to leave it alone, I would. But it falls right in the middle of both pick 6. So those are what I'm working with. The 7th, 3-year-olds and up, overnight allowance, 10 starters, is the Omar Walker Trophy, named in honor of 6-time champion jockey Omar Walker. I'm boiling this race down to 4. They are the 1, Perfect Brew, the 4, Legacy Isle, the 8, Sensational Move, and the 9, Supremacy. Okay, Perfect Brew. Tijay Sukul claiming 4 kilos for Richard Azan. Perfect Brew is a run-on sprinter. Last time out at 9 furlongs and 25 yards, finished 2nd by 4 1/4 lengths to Geolithic. Before that was 7 by 6 lengths at 5 furlongs straight to Speedball Bootylicious. And before that was 3rd by 6 1/2 lengths at 7 furlongs to Big Philly Run, Julie Run, and top class Barnaby. 5 furlongs round won't be a problem for this horse. Not the fastest horse in the early stages, but does come with a big late kick, especially when sprinting. Has worked well coming into this race. 37-3 breezing, the last gallop coming here. And this Perfect Brew will be flying home when this is being decided. The horse, they all got to beat. Legacy Isle, Tevin Foster for Rowan Crichton. This horse is not the ideal sprinting horse, but does have a lot of pace. Is more of a miler, in my opinion. Races that I've seen this horse run at in Florida, this horse looks like a genuine miler. But has sprinted, has run at 6 furlongs, was 2nd by a head at Gulfstream Park in 1:10 coming from off the pace. So at Caymanas Park, pulled up on last when running against Run Julie Run. To be honest, before that race, I said that he wasn't changing his lead leg. I've watched most of his other races in Florida. He never changes the lead leg. So he obviously has a problem, but it's a problem that I think he runs with. Last time out being pulled up, he didn't look lame to me. To be honest, he didn't look lame. So maybe, I don't know if he was breathing funny or something like that, because he didn't look lame. But something obviously went wrong for Foster to pull him up. He has the ride once again. He has worked brilliantly coming into this race. Has some very fast workouts with his stablemate Commandant, who proved on last that he's definitely a top A-class campaigner. So if he lives up to his early potential and expectation, even at 5 furlongs round, Legacy Isle definitely looks like the horse they're going to all have to beat. The 8, Sensational Move. Radish Roman for Gary Sobrati has run in the top class on several occasions. Raced with Desert of Malibu. Came back after that and was beaten by Atlantic Convoy, Money Market, and Perfect Brew. Last win was 5 1/2 furlongs in 1.5 million claimer, winning by 5 1/4 lengths. Beating Milos, wasn't claimed, so came back to overnight allowance in the Trevor Simpson OD Cup. And at this distance, and was 2nd by 2 lengths to California Crown, who has now gone on to the top class. Came back at 5 1/2, was 3rd by 4 lengths to Inspire Force, coming from off the pace. And last time out 6 1/2 furlongs, was a no-show in that race, finishing 6 by 10 lengths to Wall Street Trader. So 5 furlongs round is not going to be a problem for him. It's just a little question sign. They recently put him in a claiming race, and he has run a lot since that. So I'm wondering if he's getting a little leg weary now. But just the fact that he ran some good races recently, I can't leave him out. And the 9, Supremacy, Shane Ellis for Anthony Nunes. This one is going to be possibly a long shot in this event, but coming into this race, last 5 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds, getting fitter with every race. Definitely looks like a horse heading to the top. 5 furlongs round, looks a little snappy for Supremacy. Does have pace, but his pace looks like more mid-distance pace. But you never can tell when a horse is improving, and he's improving at the right time. Watch out for Supremacy. For Superfecta, I was going to squeeze a horse in it. I would definitely put in the 3 horse, Chocomo, American Colt, Robert Hallidine for Jason DaCosta. This got humiliated last time out at 7 furlongs when beaten by 65 lengths. That's a whole furlong by Mamma Mia. Before that was 6 by 7 3/4 lengths, the sensational move. Got a slight freshening for this race and has worked well since. Has some nice gallops at exercise, and as I said, for Superfecta purposes, I would squeeze this Chocomo in it. But it looks like to me, this Legacy Isle looks like the real deal, and definitely looks like the horse they're going to have to beat. The 8th race, the BCLC Toba 3-year-old Millionaire Series. 3-year-old maiden specially with 12 starters, 6.5 furlongs, boiling this down to 5. They are the 2, T-Swizzle, the 4, Incredible Joe, the 5, H2O, the 8, Nephew, and the 9, Bowmore. Okay, some young foreigners. T-Swizzle, Ian Spence for Philip Fiani. 5 by 15 lengths on debut to Ride All Day. That was back in December. Has worked well coming into this race. Has a 5.5 in 108.1 with Fearless Soul. Then came back on the 15th of March to work a nice 1 minute and 4/5 with Impressive Force. So looks tuned for this. Lay 6 now administered for the first time. Expecting a good run from this Chestnut filly T-Swizzle. The 4, Incredible Joe, Shane Ellis for Adrian Prince. I'm not familiar with the stallion, Improbable, but the mare is out of Bernstein, so that's pretty decently bred. Working exceptionally well. Has a 46 by 59.3 with Fun Can done. Last work coming to this was 6 furlongs in 113 and 2. That's looking good. Expecting a good run from this Incredible Joe. The 5, H2O, 45 favorite on debut, beaten 3rd by 4.5 lengths by Nephew and H2O stablemate Gervano after breaking slowly. Has worked very well coming into this race. Work with stablemate American Invader and beat American Invader, and also worked with Giacomo and worked 114 and 2. So this H2O looks primed to put in a big run here. Possibly the horse they're going to have to beat. The 8, Nephew, Damar Williams, claiming 4 kilos for Owen Sharp. Was the winner on last, but was disqualified, causing interference to Gervano. Comes in here, claiming that 4 kilos, coming much lighter than that, 122 pounds. Heading in the right direction now, and once again, I think Nephew should fight this out. And the 9, Bowmore, Romain Garden, claiming 4 kilos for Philip Lee. Second and last by 2 3/4 lengths to Rico. Stretched out now. Against some useful looking importees, and should once again put in another good run. They have now put on the blinkers and taken off the cheek pieces, so let's see how that helps the chances of this Bowmore. And if I was going to put a long shot in my Superfecta here, a long shot I really like in this race is where is she? The 7, Miss Grove. Dick Cardenas for Anthony Nunes. On debut, was way out of it and came home to finish 5th by 9 3/4 lengths in that same with Nephew. Busy at the exercise, cantering and trotting. Has a work with Perfect Affair, 4 furlongs in 50 and 1. She has a work back in February, 6 furlongs in 115.4. So she does have some use and dwelt at the start in that last run. So from a better break, coming back at the same distance, expecting a much improved run from this Miss Grove at a good price. The 9th and final. This is the She's a Manita, Omar Walker's favorite horse. Nature bred 4-year-olds and up, non of 2 and imported 4-year-olds and up maiden. 14 starters, they go 7 furlongs, boiling this down to 4. They are the 3, the General, the 6, Bushfire, the 11, Midnight Galaxy, and the 12, Military Light. Okay, this, the General. Knocking at the door, 4-year-old Colt. In his last 6 starts, he has 4 seconds and 2/3. 3 consecutive seconds, always finding one in front of him. In a race of this nature, though, can definitely pull it off. Last time out, it was a bit too early for his own good, going 9 furlongs and 25 yards when put right to the front. That's not his style of running. This is a horse who likes to be held up and come with one late run. He only has one move. So the move is to just save it for the last half mile. If that's done here, I think the General comes out the winner. Last time out was beaten 3/4 lengths by Solo Black, who should not have beaten him, to be honest. Solo Black I don't think was in this level of the General's class. So definitely I think he can pull this off. The 6, Bushfire, hasn't been out since November when finishing 9th by 16 lengths to Tiffany Blue at 6 furlongs. Before that was 6 by 10 lengths to Battle Angel. This is a horse that won on his second start going 7 furlongs in 1:29, beating Tiffany Blue and the General. So something obviously went wrong between September and November. Has had a long freshening. Busy at the exercise track, working. They have now taken off the visors, they have put on the blinkers, and they have taken off the tongue tie. Tevin Foster now gets the ride. He was the one who won on him back in September, so he has the ride now for Anthony Smith, and expecting a good showing from this Bushfire at a good price. The 11, the horse I think they're all going to have to catch, is Midnight Galaxy. Shane Richardson claiming 2 kilos here for Greshford Smith. 4th by 8 lengths on last, Lucy in the Sky, and the General when going a mile. I think that was just a little bit out of the reach of this Midnight Galaxy. Before that, at 6.5 furlongs, was 4th by 3.25 lengths to Smart Trick and Titan Tempo. Shooting Star was 3rd there. Some very useful animals. Smart Trick just went up in class and won recently. So, off of that, working well coming into the race, has a 35-3 on the 8th of March for 3 furlongs. Came back on the 15th of March to gallop 6 in 1, 16 and 2. Tongue tie on. So they took it off on last. It's now back on. If this Midnight Galaxy gets comfortable on the front end, going to prove a very elusive target in the stretch. And the 12, Military Light. This was my gamble horse last week at 21-1. Came from way out of the clouds to be beaten 2 lengths 3rd to She's Dallas Love at 5.5 furlongs. Stretching out to 7 furlongs now, which I think is a little bit much for Military Light. Bred to sprint. Ryan Lewis for Gary Griffiths. But might just get there. 7 furlongs is still basically a intermediate sprint. So if position at the right position, not too far off the pace, I think this Military Light should come with a nice run in the stretch and have a lot to say in the final furlong. Long shot to squeeze in your superfecta, because you don't want to leave this horse out and let him turn up, is the 7, Seaplane. Racing a lot recently. Was 4th by 20 lengths on last in that same Solo Black race. He was also too early for his own good, leaving the half mile only 3 lengths off the lead. This is a horse who tends to sit more than 10 lengths off and then come with a run. So he definitely ran out of his game on last. 7 furlongs on the short side for this Seaplane, but expecting to see a pace up front. And if they fall in the stretch, I think the Seaplane should make it into the superfecta at a good price. They've removed the visors and expecting a good run from the Seaplane. Alright guys, this looks like a very, very, very nutty program. So I hope I spot a few winners there, hopefully. And remember, on Saturday, I'm going to go live. It's the first time I'm going to go live. I've never done it before, so it's been requested for me to do that. So I'm going to go live maybe 20 minutes before post time and see how it goes. So I hope we have some luck. Thanks for watching, and as usual, be safe.